Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestlers Bay and to NXT In Your House 2022 out of 10. And yeah, it's NXT's first premium live event since WrestleMania weekend, I believe. And yeah, it's an interesting card, some decent matches on there. I'm looking at you, Cameron Grimes versus Carmelo Hayes especially. Tag team title match will be great. NXT title maybe hasn't had the best build, but it certainly will be a good match. But let's get straight into the card. And we're going to start off with the 6-man tag team match between Legado del Fantasma and the family. Wild and the Two Dimes started off the match, but the two teams ended up in an all-out brawl soon enough. Tony and his goons took down Escobar before isolating Cruz del Toro in the ring and stomping him out. Del Toro made big double team moves before managing to tag Escobar. Escobar cleared the ring and the apron before Legado took them out. The Don's crew with dives to the outside. Tony and Santos were on the top rope and the Goombas dropped Escobar before the Two Dimes wiped out Del Toro in the ring with a clothesline. Wild then was tagged in before getting a near fall on the stacks, but Two Dimes broke the 10. Electra Lopez then handed the brass knuckles to Escobar and the Two Dimes handed Tony the crowbar, but Wild took the crowbar and hit the stacks with it. D'Angelo then stole Escobar's knuckles and destroyed Wild before stacks fell on him, getting a lucky pin. And yeah, the Legado del Fantasma now have to join the family. And yeah, I think it probably would have been the best dynamic the other way around. But yeah, the match was really fun. But just because I kind of wasn't in favour of the booking decision, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. But you know, it kind of is understandable. But yeah, the match was really good. And yeah, it sure will be an interesting dynamic on NXT in the coming weeks. Next up was Toxic Attraction versus Chase and Carter for the women's tag team titles. Kaden and Katana attacked the champs before the match began and sent them out of the ring. Jane was isolated in a corner as the match began, but Dolan came in and took down Katana before isolating her in their corner. The champs then hit a double team move in the corner before Kaden came in and turned things around. Jane was back in and got a near fall on Carter after hitting some big moves. Dolan and Jane then did their best to keep Carter in their corner, but she managed to tag Katana in. Carter dropped Jane on the apron and the two fell outside while in the ring. Katana then got near fall for standing moonsault. Carter came in with a huge dive on Dolan, but Jane broke out the pin attempt. Dolan was being rolled up in the ring, but Jane came in with a cheap shot from the outside and helped Gigi get the pin with a German suplex. And yeah, this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, right result for me. Toxic Attraction retaining. Wasn't a bad match at all. So yeah, gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, just a not incredible, but you know, just a solid pay-per-view match really. Cameron Grimes then took on Carmelo Hayes for the North American title. Grimes was in control early on, but missed the cave-in as Melo retreated in the corner. Melo then dropped the champ on the apron before trying for a dive, but walked into a kick and took a diving crossbody from the top rope. Hayes took control of the match and got some near falls in the ring after tossing Grimes outside. Melo dodged the super kick after a bit of back and forth. Trick Williams tried to interfere and tie Grimes' hand to the ring ropes. Melo took advantage of that distraction and got a near fall, although Trick failed to trap the champ in the corner. Hayes then took a big kick on the apron and another super kick in the ring for a near fall. Grimes was then about to finish the match, but Trick interfered once more. Grimes hit the Trick with a cave-in from the apron, but the distraction allowed Hayes to get the pin with a diving guillotine leg drop. And yeah, slightly surprised that Hayes is the NXT North American champion again, but you know, not opposed to it at all really. He's such a great wrestler. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with the belt again. So yeah, great stuff from me, 7 out of 10. Mandy Rose then took on Wendy Chu for the women's title. Mandy attacked Wendy before the match began, and the two charged at each other just as the bell was rung. Wendy set out the champ up in the corner and got a big kick before Mandy took her down and locked in a hold. The two traded covers before Rose hit a big slam and Chu came back with some shots. Wendy got a hip toss and a cartwheel splash in the corner before Rose rolled out of the ring. Chu tried for a dive to the outside but was taken down with a spine buster on the ramp. Wendy barely beat the ref's count and took another spine buster but managed to kick out. Chu then blocked a knee strike with her pillow before when Mandy tore it up. Wendy came in with a knee strike off the distraction and unloaded on the champ. Chu locked in a chokehold and nearly made Mandy tap, but she got her feet on the ropes. Chu then went up for the finisher, but Mandy took her down and got a knee strike in the ring to retain her title. Yeah, it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I mean, like, it was a fun little match with the cushion spot and all of that. Yeah, was it the best match I've ever seen on pay-per-view for the women's title? No, it wasn't. So yeah, probably gets a 6 out of 10 from me. But you know, Mandy retaining for a bit longer is the right decision. And yeah, like I've said multiple times, I've got the feeling they're building Cora Jade up to take the title from her. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see when that happens. Next up was Pretty Deadly versus the Creed Brothers for the tag team titles. Before the match, WWE confirmed that the Creed Brothers were winning the title by airing a vintage of their accomplishments so far, and their family was also in the crowd. They were wearing high visibility colours, possibly so that people could see them when they win the title, which I did go out and find quite funny. But anyway, the Deadly Lads were in control early on, and isolated Brutus in the ring, but Julius came in and locked in tandem submissions before the champs headed outside for a breather. The champs were in trouble as Brutus pounded away at Wilson before getting a near fall. The Creeds dropped the champs outside, and Julius was sent into the ring post and took a spine buster on the steel sets while the ref was looking away. Brutus got a cannonball but failed to get the pin. The champs then were tossed in the title belt in the ring, and Julius was about to use it as a weapon, but then handed it to the ref before Brutus took down Wilson, letting Julius hit the shooting star press. The Creeds came in with a big clothesline and picked up the win. And yes, spoiler aside, I think this was probably the right decision for me. Fun match as well, 7 out of 10, so yeah, good stuff. But yeah, for me, it was the right decision because they've been building the Creeds up almost like if everything was fair, they could win the titles. Now it was, they did, so it doesn't take away from the Creeds. Pretty Deadly, they're still nil. I think they still got a bright future, so yeah, 7 out of 10 for me, good stuff. Braun Breaker then took on Joe Gacy for the NXT title in the main event. Braun laid on Gacy right off the bat, but basically managed to keep it cool and get some moves of his own. The hooded figure then came up to the champ with a steel chair, and Braun took it away, but the distraction let Gacy send him into the ring post. Gacy then locked and hold in the ring and was trying to slow things down, possibly to get Braun to lose his cool. Braun then sent Gacy outside and hit a big dive before a hooded figure cut in the ring to distract the officials while Gacy slammed a steel chair on the mat and headed to Bronson. Braun nearly got disqualified, but the referee worked out what happened. Braun dropped Gacy on the announce desk and he went right through it. Right in the ring, Breaker got the bulldog, but Gacy kicked out. Braun then was about to use the steel chair once more, but it handed it back to the ref as Gacy hit a low blow for a near fall. Braun then took the chair once more before hitting the hooded figures on the apron and taking them out. Breaker then got a spear and hit his finisher on Gacy before picking up the win. And yeah, it was a decent match, 7 out of 10. It kind of had all the stuff with this creepy bollocks and the Gacy being heel, Braun getting disqualified. Kind of like what we see in a face v heel match for the title in the pay-per-view main event, really. And yeah, Gacy with all the hooded figures as well, so that kind of all did tie in. But Breaker's still coming out on top. He looks decent, 7 out of 10. From me, this match, decent stuff. Gacy, yeah, I don't know where he goes from here. It will be interesting, but to be honest, I think it's kind of fun. I'm not a massive fan of this feud, to be honest. So yeah, I'm kind of glad it's over, but intrigued to see what's next for the two of them, especially Gacy now, because hopefully he isn't too managed, because yeah, he is a really good wrestler. Overall, NXT In Your House gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, to be honest, it was kind of a pay-per-view that I had low expectations going into, but for me it delivered quite well. There was some really good matches in there. The tag team title, world title and North American title match were really good. So yeah, there were some really good matches on the card that I enjoyed and probably exceeded my expectations as well, so good stuff. But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, vote, thoughts, comments down below. Follow to think, subscribe to me for daily wrestling news and subscribe to my channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.